Hello, my name is Joy and I'm from Berkeley class. Have you ever played computer games? Or do you like computer games? Today, I am talking about computer games and how they are antisocial. Nowadays, computer games are not good things. It is a problem in the world. People don't play computer games the way they should. I think computer games are a bad thing in the world for the following 4 reasons. First, people play computer games too much. Kids and adults are playing them every time. For example, during work and break time. It damages our bodies and breaks down our biorhythm. Second, it is socially inappropriate. Most countries worried about the computer games because these days, young kids playing too much. Students only have the chance to study as students. Young kids must study hard. Studying is their duty. Thirdly, people spend too much money on them. Computer games are so cool. And people they want to attract it to spend money on them. Because if they spend the money on them, they get some good skills and they get some good items. However, I sometimes spend money on them too. So I'm worried about myself and I'm trying to restrain myself. And lastly, people playing computer game is not good for our body. It disrupts young kids to grow, and it has a bad influence on their bodies. Thus, computer games are a problem in virus, so people are moderate to play computer games. I am going to try effort not to be affected by these computer games. They are our enemies. Thanks for listening.
Have you ever heard of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? Let me introduce to you about the global problem of garbage. All of the world throw approximately 2.6 trillion pounds of garbage each year. That is 270 million elephants. But each country has a limited amount of land. So people have started to throw their garbage into the Pacific Ocean, even though they threw their garbage from different places, but the garbage piles up in one place because of ocean currents. There are a lot of problems because of garbage. So I will introduce what is the problem and what is the solution. The garbage is one of the principal offenders of global warming. The process of garbage management releases a lot of bad substances. There are many effects of global warming. For instance, the surface of the ocean will get higher and higher, as with the temperature, as the weather changes, so does the environment, and this may affect the tradition, food, and costume of people in different countries. For example, factories release a lot of carbon dioxide, and it breaks through the ozone layers and makes it smaller. Our skin will get worse, because more sunlight will shine through. In addition, garbage causes the contamination of water. Many animals will suffer and may even go extinct. Also, garbage causes the pollution of land. For the reason, plants can grow well. So we can't purify the air, and since the land is dirty, it affects underground water. Also, we can't eat fresh vegetables. We can say that species can become extinct because of garbage. Furthermore, garbage could be dangerous to creatures. For example, turtles use plastic bags because they look like jellyfish. Also, you can see on the low side that there are several plants that are covered with plastic bags. They won't grow high. The problem of garbage has gotten worse, but we have many solutions to solve this problem. Firstly, we shouldn't use disposable products. For example, when you go on vacation, you bring kimbap or rice suffer in fried beans curd. You will usually pack them in disposable plastic products. Instead of disposable products, we can use an airtight container, then we can reduce garbage. Secondly, broadcasting centers should broadcast about the serious garbage problem. People don't know why they should diminish the amount of garbage they throw out. By broadcasting, then people will empathize about this problem and decrease garbage. Lastly, we should make more inventions that are good for the environment, such as hydrogen fuel cars and electric cars. We can save a lot of resources, and also we can make less trash. Then we can extend our span of life. We have caused a lot of pollution with garbage and other things. But this is not the end, and we can still change. There are many solutions to solve this problem. Also, since nature is interconnected, the problem with garbage is that it circulates throughout the world. I introduce something to you. Before you throw away your garbage, please think one more time. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Hong from Stanford. What is the connection between hotter temperatures and harming the environment? That's right, it's global warming. I think we have to be concerned about global warming. So I will introduce to you why we have to be concerned. We live on Earth, but Earth is not ours. We do not want the Earth if we don't take care of it. There is no Earth and we will lose our place of living. There are many animals on the Earth too. In that case, what is the cause of global warming? One of the main causes is human using too many electric machines, so it causes many carbon dioxide. It goes up and then it makes a hole in the ozone layer. So more infrared light will reach the Earth through the ozone layer holes. This causes the rise in the Earth's temperature. So many glaciers in the North Pole are melting now. Many polar bears losing their homes. Furthermore, many people usually use disposable products, such as paper cups and wooden chopsticks. These are thrown away when used, and these are burned. When we burn the disposable products, a lot of carbon dioxide discharges. So it will form many holes in the ozone layer. Have you ever seen the movie Interstellar? In this movie, it shows future on the Earth if we don't take care of it. There are many sandstorms, so many people use goggles and masks. They can only grow corn too. I can't believe the future of our Earth will be like the one shown in Interstellar. A lot of people may believe that the future of the Earth will be okay. However, several scholars are insisting about the magnitude of the effects of global warming to many people, but they can't understand. So, what will we do? First, we have to use less electric machines because it causes too much carbon dioxide. We can do this by pulling the plugs from the outlet, and we can turn the TV or switch off the light when we go outside too. Second, we can make a global warming campaign in the world because it is an international problem, so we solve this problem together. Third, we should reduce our usage of disposable products and being our one fork or chopsticks. This method is very effective. If one person prefers this method, its effect is effective very small. But if many people prefer this method, it will cause a very big effect on global warming. Last, we must have love for the earth. It is very important. Try. Memories for action can make a happy earth in Korea. There is a proverb, those who stay in a beautiful spot is also beautiful. We have to use the earth cleanly because we live in it. There are many selfish people in the earth, and I want to persuade them. But I'm young, so I entrust that to you. My writing is not good, so I'm leveraged to persuade many people. Remember, the earth is not yours. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Diana in Berkeley, and before we begin, I want to ask you, do you like K-pop? Yes! Do you like idols? Yes! Among many idols, who is your favorite idol? My favorite idol is B2B. What are yours? Today I stand here to talk about girl idols expose too much skin on stage or TV. I will talk about my opinions about idols who are either successful or failures because they expose their skin. Recently, many girl idols have sexy images. For example, EXID's song We Are was unpopular in 2024, but it attracted viewers in 2015 because they released a sexy dance video. Moreover, there are many idols who are in the spotlight because of their sexy images, such as Away, Hyuna, Girls' Day, etc. However, there are also more idols who are failures because of their image. Do you know Stella? They sing many sexy image songs. Their music video was very scandalous. At first, it had many people's interest. People said, it is too sexy. On Facebook, their music video was shared many times. But it was forgotten very fast, and Stella can't sing the song anymore because it is for ages 19 and over. Currently, girl idols expose extremely too much skin on stage. I think it is not good for anyone. Many of the head of entertainment expect more and more skin exposed in order to make more money. Some of the idols try to give up their jobs, but they can't because they spend a lot of time to make their dreams come true. And it is not good for the viewers' mentality too. If young people see that on their TV, it will not be good. Also, older people can get uncomfortable when they see that on their TVs. In conclusion, so many idols they try exposing to get in the spotlight, and this is very bad for everyone. Many idols can get negative treatment, and viewers can get uncomfortable because of them. So, idols should reduce how often they expose their skin. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Thank you, Diane. Hi, I'm Celine from Michigan. I want to talk about the real dream. Do you have a dream? What is your dream? What do you think about the real dream? Students in this camp have different dreams. Some want to be a teacher, others want to be a scientist. The case may be that someone's dream is to be a rich person. And maybe some students haven't decided on a dream. In the dictionary, dream is associated with ideal and hope. As with this meaning, a dream is not always something you needed to achieve. It's just your hope and goal. My parents always told me, you should have a dream. Dreams are very important. So I worried and thought about my dream a lot. About a year ago, I met an architect in my school. She explained the architect's rule and motivation. She gave me a lot of information about her career. Thanks for her lecture, I decided on my dream job. Since then, I have a dream of becoming an architect. This job is not easy to get in Korea, but I want it. Because I want to be an architect. Just I want it. What is a real dream? The real dream is not your parents' dream and is not a tool to make a lot of money. A dream is just hope and goals you have for now. A dream is just something you reach for. It doesn't even matter a lot if you fail to achieve. You should find your real dream. I want you to decide it on your own dream. I hope your dream comes true. Thank you. Thank you so much.
These days, childhood obesity is in news. According to the news, Korean childhood obesity has increased 15% especially in middle school and high school, where the obesity percentage is around 18%. Child obesity can lead to adult obesity, so it can cause hypertension, fatty liver, asthma, colorectal cancer, and also can cause mental health problems like depression. It can be a very serious problem in their life. A few weeks ago, I did a health screening. The result was not very good. The doctor said my fatty liver was the problem. If their liver becomes bad, we can easily become tired, lose our attention, and can cause a person to sleep too much. Oh, these are my symptoms. I apologized to my parents and was worried. So I decided to lose my weight. From now on, I'll try to eat less and play more sports. I avoid going to the store and make sure stop eating when I feel full. Finally, I ride my bike to the Han River and get sweaty, which really works for my health. My weight is decreasing. When I wear clothes, they fit me much better and more people call me handsome. Childhood obesity can have genetic factors. If their parents are obese, then their children can be obese as well. It is the responsibility of my parents, but I will try to win the fight against childhood obesity. If childhood obesity is going to be fixed, we need to make more social effort. If Korea builds park and playground, it can help to provide children with exercise. And they can do more gym classes in school, which really helps students stay active. To make Korea healthy, we must stop childhood obesity. It is not one person's problem. It is everyone's problem to solve. We need to try hard to fight against childhood obesity so we can have more healthy and happy people. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Thank you, Matthew. Everyone, my name is Janice and I'm in the Princeton. Have you been to Dongyang before? Do you even know where it is? Dongyang is a small city in Gyeongsangnam-do. While it is a famous place to visit, a lot of people don't know why it's famous. Therefore, today I'm going to talk about why Dongyang is a good place to visit. The first reason why Dongyang is a good place to visit is because Dongyang has a good environment. Dongyang has fresh air, though it's right beside the sea, so the air smells a bit fishy. There is less microscopic dust and sandy dust that comes mostly from China. This is because Dongyang is located on the edge of the Korean peninsula and it's really far away from China. I think Dongyang is a good place to calm down and relax, especially for people who live in big cities like Seoul, because most of the big cities have more pollution. My other reason is that Dongyang has a very delicious food like honey bread, jjummugimbap, and fresh seafood. Honey bread is a round bread with honey on the outside. It has red bean flavor, sweet potato flavor, and citron flavor to put inside the bread. Jjummugimbap is a special gimbap. It is special because you can't try it anywhere else, and it's a traditional gimbap in Dongyang and not an ordinary gimbap. Other ordinary gimbap has lots of ingredients in it, but jjummugimbap is just rice and seaweed and 2 side dishes. I think the most important food is these 2 side dishes. One of them is radish kimchi and the other one is squid roast. There are other delicious foods. Also, I heard from a visitor and he said he came to Dongyang just to eat all the famous food. The last reason is people in Dongyang are very nice. For instance, I saw a visitor asking someone who lives in Dongyang for directions, and that person answered very kindly. Also, when I was about 9 years old, I got lost somewhere, and a woman helped me. After I found my mom, I found out that the woman was from Dongyang. I believe it's not just these 2 people, but almost everyone is nice too. Therefore, I think people from Dongyang are kind. I have talked about 3 reasons why Dongyang is a good place to visit. The reasons were it has good environment, It has many delicious food and kind-hearted people. Also, spending money to visit Tongyang is well worth it. You won't regret it. I'm hoping that after you listen to my speech, you will visit Tongyang and have a good time. This is the end of the speech. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jen. Hello, I'm Harris in Princeton. I'm going to talk about most important, serious and hard problem of human being, war. These days, there are many stories on the news about terror. Just last week, there was the news about North Korea. People were concerned about it. They wonder, how can we make terror disappear? What should we do? Is merely punishing the group that does this thing a solution? The problem is not that simple. Mankind has continued war since the beginning of the time. Human history is as long as that of wars. Why do people fight? For this, I'll define violence as the thing which gives extreme suffering to others. Fundamentally, humans use violence to be in a better position than before. Also, there are 4 specific reasons, ways to use violence and start wars. First is human nature. Human wants more and more, even if it belongs to others. Second is lack of understanding. If someone doesn't agree others' thinking or culture, it builds animosity, which leads to retaliation and war. Third, some governments have no power or want to concentrate their power to a leader, use war like North Korea. Lastly, the most important reason is a retaliatory spirit. The side which has been damaged or hurt always want to revenge, but it always making the situation worse. Then how can we stop war? There are 3 solutions. First, we have to realize that violence is not the solution. For example, there is the War of Roses. This was the war in England, where the houses of York and Richard fought for the right to be a king for more than 100 years. They continued their revenge for a long time, until at last, both of them defeated by a new house. We can find the important lesson that revenge makes the situation worse. Gandhi said, "An eye for an eye makes the world blind." We should change the way we think. Instead of thinking about revenge, we should think about forgiveness. Second, we should think of others and think from others' point of view. Do you know Harper Lee's book, To Kill a Mockingbird? In that book, the main character said, you never really know the man until you understand things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk. Also, Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. If we afford and try to understand others, we can achieve the peace. Third, if you find it really hard to follow those previous 2 rules, there is a solution for you. Just do not make a conflict. In this way, making or keeping peace is much easier to us. Just do not express hatred, then everyone will not hurt or be hurt. You don't have to love others from other side of you. You don't have to understand them sincerely. Just don't make conflicts. That is often enough to prevent war. Someone will say, does it really work? But I think someone needs to stop this vicious cycle. Achieving peace is difficult, I agree. However, if we try together, we can achieve it, as John F. Kennedy is saying. Peace is a daily, weekly, and monthly process. Gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures.
Thank you for listening.
When we first meet people, we are lost for words. It is okay to not to be friends when you're never going to meet again. But if you're classmates, roommates, or neighbors, we have to be friends. I will help you to make friends by telling how I made my friends. First, we should find the point of sameness. If everyone likes baseball, we can talk about teams like SK Wyverns or Samsung Lions. If everyone likes games, we can talk about StarCraft or League of Legends. When people share stories to each other, they think that they have things in common. So by talking a lot about same topics, we can be friends more easily. Second, we should be nice to each other. If someone is being rude to others, nobody will like him or her. For example, a boy is always saying bad words and screaming while others are concentrating. People like this will be very lonely. However, everyone likes people who are kind and gentle. But always being gentle will bring no fun, so we should play some jokes or tricks. Therefore, thirdly, we should play some jokes. Almost everyone likes to have fun, so when you have a fun time together, you could get close to each other. For example, you could hide one's pillow and see how he behaves. Me and my roommates became friends by turning the lights on and off while one is taking a shower. It is good to have fun, but we should not play tricks that are too severe. It can be dangerous and also make bad relationships with others. Last, we should follow what is popular. No one wants to play with people who have 1980s fashion or who sings 1970s songs. For example, everyone is playing computer games and you say, let's go out and play hide and seek. Then they'll find out that you're very childish and don't have any sense. We should give a good impression by following what is popular. There are still lots of ways to make new friends. My advice is not the only answer. You can find your own way to make new friends too. Just be sure to have a good connection with others who you want to be friends with. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. That was a wonderful speech.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sean, and I'm a second grader from Washington. Today, I would like to talk about my role model, Joanne Kathleen Rowling, well known as the author of the very bestseller, Harry Potter. Years ago, Rowling delivered a commencement speech to Harvard graduates with the goal of giving them some of the best life lessons. In doing so, she revealed the secrets of her extraordinary life full of failure and the power of imagination. The only things that young Rowling wanted to do was to study English literature and write novels which differ from her parents' expectations. They came from impoverished backgrounds and did not want Rowling to starve. Rowling had no choice but to reach a compromise regarding her university major. However, it was on graduation day when her parents found out for the very first time that she had been studying classics. 7 years after graduation day, Rowling finally faced a series of failures, and the fears and worries that she and her parents shared were realized. She became divorced, an unemployed, lone parent, single mother, as poor as possible to be a modern Britain. Ironically, this failure led Rowling free from the fetters of the inessentials of her life and become who she actually was meant to be. She learned to dispel needless thoughts and only focus on what she truly loved to do. That is to say, write novels. Eventually, what created the best author in Britain was failure, the biggest enemy not only of Rowling's, but of most people's. Failure gave the novelist the very opportunity that she could have encountered no other way. On top of that, Rowling realized that her life shouldn't even be construed as a failure. Working for the Amnesty International in London, she met an African torture victim who was even younger than her, pale, and unable to talk or walk well. Later, she heard the victim making a sudden scream of pain and grief from behind the closed door. She soon receives the news that his mother had been seized and executed. In her job with Amnesty International, Roland was able to see people suffering and sought to relate. She was able to utilize her imaginative power towards the disadvantaged by understanding their pain and empathizing with them. It was this transformative and revelatory power of imagination that rendered her conscious of how thankful she should be about the fact that she is a constituent of a country with a democratically elected government. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. This is a quote from Seneca, an ancient philosopher. We should keep in mind that it is impossible to live without failing at a single thing, unless we live so cautiously that we might as well not have lived at all, in which case we fail by default. Furthermore, even a single empathetic action of raising our voice on behalf of those whose voices are unheard is believed to exert a great deal of positive influence on the world. In other words, we all have sacred duties and responsibilities to retain our ability to imagine ourselves in the lives of those who do not have our advantages. By achieving the aforementioned acknowledgement of the benefits of failure and the crucial importance of imagination, we shall be able to live a meaningful life, not only for ourselves, but for the whole humanity and our posterity. Thank you.
How many times do you usually lie? As you know, our native teacher, Mike, has unique hairstyle. One day he asked me, does my hairstyle look good? I thought it was totally strange, but I said, it's fabulous. People can get upset really quickly. Once someone's mind changes, it would be difficult to get their minds back. So, we should use white lies. A white lie is a small lie that doesn't make people feel distressed. You should use white lies in your life a lot, even though you don't agree with something. First, if you don't use white lies, you can cause people to have a bad mood. For example, one girl asked the boy, "Am I pretty?" The boy thought that she was not attractive, but girls usually want to hear "you're pretty" from people. The boy determined and he said, "No, you're not pretty, you're just a human." The girl was more ashamed because there were classmates around, and he said it so loudly so that everyone could hear. Guys, white lies are okay to use. On the other hand, white lies can make people feel good. When you got hurt from playing games, your leg got injured. It really hurts, but you can say to your mom, "Don't worry, I'm okay." Your mom would feel much better if you use white lies. A doctor could say to cancer patients who are scared of death that they could live longer. Even though it's not true, these lies could make people be informed of thoughtful, considerate, and kind. Third, imagine if you were in these situations. If I were in these situations, I would use white lies for them. In my experience, my friend found a blue sweater that she wanted and tried on for 2 hours. She really liked it, but I didn't think it was very pretty. But I said it will look good on you, because if I said it looks ugly, she wouldn't buy it even though she really likes it. I used a false statement in my school as well. For example, we were playing a basketball game. My friend made some mistakes during the match. We lost the game and we saw her face. She looked anxious. Our classmates told her that it was not her fault, even though it totally was. She looked better listening to some white lies. So, I hope you don't think white lies are a bad thing. White lies can be useful in life and in society. You can use white lies for good reasons, such as saving good relationship and making others feel better about a bad situation. Trust me, using white lies will help your life more easier. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Graydon from Washington class. Today I want to tell you about fairy tales. Do you know a girl who has skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony? Her name is Snow White. Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid were other famous fairy tales, stories that we read in our childhood. These stories are full of unicorns, heroes, kings and queens, castles, and magic. In fact, these stories are so famous that you would have heard it about 1,000 times. While reading these stories, have you ever thought about what effects you actually get from the stories? If you haven't, let's think about it now. Fairy tales make us more imaginative and creative. It gives us a lot of morals, such as encouraging the good and punishing the evil, giving hope to poor kids, and that the good always gets to win. It can be nostalgic when you read it as an adult. But think about it this way. Fairy tales are teaching children false ideas about love, gender roles, and concepts of good versus evil, which can lead to problems later on with extremely high expectations, stereotypes, and an unrealistic outlook on life. Today I want to show you a different dimension of seeing these fairy tales and tell you how they can affect children. First of all, fairy tales can brainwash children's minds and plant stereotypes in them. Those stereotypes include those based on appearance, on love, and on life. In a typical story, the women are always beautiful, with perfect skin, flowing hair, big eyes, long legs, small hands, and tiny waists. The men are always tall, handsome, and muscular, with perfect hair. There is no such thing as an ugly prince, and the princes all look relatively similar. This gives children an unrealistic stereotype of how they should look and lowers their self-esteem if they don't look like those characters. Fairy tales can also give great effects on the understanding of love. In fairy tales, the characters usually experience love at first sight. The prince and princess never has any disagreements and never get in fights. Everything is always flowery and happy, which does not come close to representing a real relationship. Second, fairy tales can give a bad gender role understanding. What happens in a fairy tale? There is a young woman in a terrible situation, whether it is poverty, an evil stepmother, or being locked away in a tower. They are always completely miserable with their lives and hope daily for a man to come and rescue them. These women do not make an effort to make their own dreams happen and rely on a man or magic to come fix their problems. Sure enough, a handsome and strong prince comes and saves them. This makes girls think that they just have to wait for a miracle, a fairy, or a prince to come save them and make herself live happily ever after. The Little Mermaid gave up her voice and family for a man's love. Princess Jasmine ran away from home even though she was a princess for Aladdin's love. Moreover, fairy tales divide the area of boys and girls from their youths. Boys are blue, girls are pink. Girls have magic wands and boys with swords. Thirdly, fairy tales can make children believe unrealistic views about real life. Fairy tales are often cliched and end with happy endings. The stories make it seem as if the same pattern of the stories make work in real life. In the end, the good side wins and the couple marries. It can be much harder for children to adopt into the real society when they go to school or become an adult. For example, fairy tales divided people into just two character types, good and evil. Children may find it difficult to understand the true evils of the world. In addition, characters in fairy tales are in a different social status from children, making it much harder for them to understand. So these are the main three problems with fairy tales. If it is us, teenagers, or adults who read the stories, fairy tales wouldn't have much impact. But children are young, naive, and take in all their surroundings,
so they are eager to believe anything they are shown or told. They do believe that fairy tales can happen in real life. So then, what are the solutions and what can we do? Fairy tales do give a lot of good effects. The way to solve the problems is to make them believe a lot more views about a concept, not just learning one perspective of it from fairy tales. For example, children should be able to learn that they have more potential than what the stories make them believe. Children should also know that they can lead their own lives and have their own goals and dreams, not the ones set up by fairy tales. Lastly, they should know that beauty and appearance is not the only path to success. This way, children will have a much open-minded and profound view of the real world. Thank you.